The Washington State Cougars baseball team is in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2010. The Cougars are in the Eugene Regional. They are seeded third and will play second-seeded Oregon State.
You see, I'm excited, Paul. I'm excited, Paul.
You give me a chance to introduce Chris and his cue card. Joining us now, the head coach of the Washington State Cougars, Nathan Choate. Coach, Egan's all fired up for you. Thank you for joining us and making time today.
Thanks for having me on. Go Cougs.
All right. Tell me about the excitement around this program right now. Winning your conference tournament, making it to the NCAA tournament. There just has to be a lot of excitement among the players and the fans.
Yeah, you know, I'm super proud of our program. Our players was a difficult year last year, and to win a conference championship and get an automatic bid, and then of all regionals to get sent to Oregon with Oregon State and Yale. Pretty exciting time for us, for sure.
Well, no question. There's going to be some Cougar fans there in Eugene. Coach, you've been at Washington State now for 3 seasons. I go back to 2019. Cougs just 11-39. You weren't there then. Just 17 wins in 2022. You have the Cougs back on the map. What was your philosophy when you took over this program? And you got to be excited where you're at right now.
You know, I was really excited to be in the Pac-12, and then once I got the job 5 weeks later, the Pac-12 dissolved. You know, over the last 2.5 years, I think the biggest thing is our program needed leadership more than coaching. And so really just trying to lead our program through a pretty difficult time, and a culmination in a regional 3 years later is pretty special.
That's interesting you bring that up, because leadership is such a key, not only in sports, but in everything else in life, Coach. You got to have good guidance.
Yeah, you know, I think the leadership piece is willing to fail. You know, we really struggled last year. We were 18-36. We had 22 guys return. And why I say leadership is being there for young people when they're failing. In an era of transfer portal, NIL, all of those things, I think our program needed people to believe in our players. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just the leadership part, over than just, hey, teaching a kid how to throw a curveball or a bunt defense or how to hit a fastball, all those things.
You mentioned curveball. I mean, you were basically throwing a curveball as well. You talk about the change of conferences. We throw in the transfer portal, the NIL. You've been a baseball player, baseball coach your entire life. How challenging have all these things been?
It was more difficult than I thought. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty challenging. But I tell our players all the time, life's not fair. And the thing that I love about baseball is it doesn't always reward you, and you have to respond. And, I mean, this is kind of the Coug way. I was a big Mike Leach fan, and I remember him naming mascots and saying, hey, the Coug finds a way. So it's kind of a Coug story, right? Like, we just found a way here 3 years later to get back in a regional. Us and Oregon State separated. They went independent. We went into the Mountain West. Kind of poetic that we're meeting right before the new Pac-12 in a regional.
I had the pleasure to interview Coach Leach several times. I love all of his stories. Is there something you take from him that you bring onto the baseball field?
Well, actually, I ran into Coach Leach when I was the head coach at LMU. We were playing BYU, and I ran into him at a pizza parlor. And we started talking to me, and his wife asked me, you know, does the pizza here have enough cheese? Because Mike wants to know if he needs to get extra cheese or not. And so he called me over and started saying, well, how do you know it's enough cheese? And I said, well, look at my body type. I think I know a good cheese pizza. And so him and I talked for 15, 20 minutes. He asked about LMU. Obviously got his law degree at Pepperdine, and had a nice 15, 20-minute conversation. This was probably about 2 or 3 years before I got the job. So a little bit of a connection there.
That's great, man. Yeah, I can only imagine. That's just a fraction of the Mike Leach stories out there. That's a good one. Coach, let's talk about the matchup you've got now. Oregon and Oregon State in your regional. You'll start with the Beavers. Not an easy matchup, but your guys are playing some good baseball right now. Some thoughts on that game?
Yeah, you know, we played them earlier in the year on a Monday, Tuesday. They got us pretty good on a Monday. We came back and won on Tuesday, so we've split the season series. Midweek games are a little different than weekend games because of the pitching, and so really excited to play them with our weekend starters. I think it's going to be a great matchup. Obviously, got a ton of respect for all the programs in the regional, but there's that natural heated rivalry with Oregon State, so really excited to get going on Friday.
You've got players on the roster from all over the country. I think 8 players from the great state of Washington. Nick Lewis earned Mountain West Conference Pitcher of the Year honors. He has had a phenomenal season. I think a 9-2 record so far entering the tournament. Gavin Roy, conference tournament MVP. He's hitting near 400. It's going to take a whole team down there, the entire team in Eugene. But how key have those two been this season for the Cougs?
Oh, they've been critically important. Two of our captains, Nick has developed within our program over the last 3 years, redshirted as a freshman. Gavin went to a junior college in Canada, and he's our starting second baseman. We have a lot of Canadians on the team just for all the high school Washington kids. We want Washington kids. So, hey, come to our camps. We want to recruit Washington kids. But we're just looking for baseball players, and those guys have done a great job.
And you mentioned that, and that's what it comes down to for a lot of kids watching this, Coach, that may not get the recruitment they want out of high school. You're going after a lot of junior college players as well, too.
Well, and especially in the Northwest. I mean, the NWAC is such a good baseball conference. I think with the transfer portal and baseball being an older sport now, the junior college route is a really good, viable option for a lot of kids, especially with the 34-man roster. It used to be 40, 42 kids. The junior college route's a really good route. I'm a junior college product, so I get it.
Yeah, well, success can be the best recruiter of all, Coach, and you've experienced it this season. And best of luck as you get into this regional and all that play. And I'm sure a lot of eyes will be on you, and maybe some future recruits as well. So we appreciate you joining us. Good luck tomorrow against the Beavers.
Appreciate it, guys. Go Cougars.